Hey, what is going on, people of YouTube? Pruvia here, and today we are going to be discussing a potential campaign or single player for Bullet Force. Is it actually possible, or is it just something that we want but we will never get? I just wanted to say, drop a like down below if you do enjoy or you think that it's possible. And let me know your comments down below in the comment box. I'd always want to hear more arguing. Are we going to get a campaign or not? But without further ado, let's get on into the video. Alright, so Bullet Force is a great game, and I think it would probably be one of the best games, if not one of the best first-person shooters on the iOS Android platforms because of its intense multiplayer, variety of weapons, and great graphics. But it doesn't have a single player, and that is where games like Modern Combat can take the lead because of its intense single player and multiplayer. But there also is tensions growing. Is it possible, or is the practice mode good enough? Let's talk about what Lucas would have to do if the campaign was going to be added into Bullet Force. First of all, he would have to make AI lots more intelligent, because the AI in Bullet Force currently is very, very stupid. Here is an example of me playing a practice game on Woods with the AI, and they are extremely stupid and have very slow reaction time. In addition to the AI having extremely slow reaction time, they also have terrible aim, and they can't see even if their heads are clearly above solid objects. They cannot shoot or see above those solid objects, which makes them extremely, extremely stupid. Another thing that Lucas would have to do if he were to include a single player in Bullet Force is he is going to have to make he's going to have to make an entire storyline, and that one that makes sense and that fits the time period. Like, he can't all of a sudden just go jumping to futuristic warfare, and he's going to have to make the missions. And if it is going to be a worthy contestant of the Modern Combat series, then he's going to have to make very well thought out missions. Also, aside the well thought out missions, he's going to have to make friendly AI that work with the player and work functionally. They function good, and they're not broken or anything. They don't glitch, and that actually will be able to kill enemy AI. But along with the enemy AI and friendly AI, he's going to have to add purpose to the missions. It can't just be killing enemy AI. It has to have purpose. Like, I think if he could add another game mode like Rush, then that could benefit the game in a lot of ways, and it could be able to make more missions, like your team's helicopter crashes and you have to go blow it up and all that stuff. But he could also use the current conquest system where you have to go and capture points, and he could have a mixture of that and team deathmatch. I don't think gun game would fit in, but if he were to add Rush, then I think it would very well benefit the game in so many different ways. But we can't just he can't just add it. That would require lots of work. Alright, so we have talked about what Lucas could potentially include if a campaign was introduced to the game. But now we should talk about the pros and cons of including a campaign into Bullet Force. Some of the pros of including a campaign would allow players offline or who lost all their data to be able to play Bullet Force without actually connecting to the internet or it could give beginner players a chance to get used to the mechanics of the game and the overall feel of it before they go in and join a public match. That's why I find that most recruits or people that just started playing the game are they're not ranking up easily because they get matched with players on level 100, level 50, and players with much more experience and much better weapons than them. So they practically have no chance to kill them and rank up. So if the players get a small bit of experience with the guns and some of the mechanics within the game, I think it could help recruits and people who just started the game, give them a chance to, get better at the game before they join an online public game. Also, yes, another reason why I think a campaign should be included, and I mentioned it earlier, it would have the ability to compete with other games that include a single player. And I think if Bullet 4 or Lucas and all of its developers took the time and put in a well-thought campaign like Modern Combat, then this game could actually do really, really well. And honestly, with the modes and stuff already included, like Team Deathmatch and Conquest, all they would really have to do is add the AI and mix it with the practice mode. And then you could make different AI, but then you would have to make objectives and cutscenes to make it one of those good campaigns. And I think with the work and the effort that Bullet Force could actually potentially pull off a campaign, but if it were to come out with a campaign, then I don't think it's something that we would see anytime soon. Alright guys, so since we just talked about the pros about a campaign, let's go ahead and talk about the cons. The first con, and it's kind of obvious, is the game is going to take up more space on your mobile device or your computer, or you could get Bullet Force on that too. And for some people that's going to be no problem. For people that have like 64, 120 gigabyte iPhones or whatever kind of space things they offer for Android phones these days, it's going to be no problem. But for people with like the 16 gigabyte iPhones, it's going to be a bit more of a problem for you. And the second con is that while making the campaign, the developers are going to be so very, very busy with the whole development of the campaign that they're not going to really have time to fix the bugs or bring in patches to the game, which would mean that the game would have more bugs and that the game would have more glitches, out of map glitches, and more bugs, which would make the gameplay would potentially take away people from the franchise, which isn't really good for business. So, I guess if they were really trying to pull off one of those Modern Combat campaigns, which I don't think they could do right now, considering that the game has been in release for almost 2 years now, so I don't think that they would be able to pull off a Modern Combat style campaign, but they could try to include some sort of offline thing where it's kind of a mixture of all the game modes, and it's kind of fit in, and it kind of fits in with the modern sort of weapons and the modern timeline of the Bullet Force game. And I don't think that we will be seeing, as I said earlier, I don't think we'll be seeing a campaign of any sort anytime soon. So basically, those are the cons. Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed this video. I really put the time and effort, and it took quite a bit of time and effort, and it took actually a lot of potential planning to be able to make this video. So I would really appreciate if you guys could drop a like down below and leave a comment down below on what you guys thought, and if you guys think a possible campaign would be coming. And as always, the comment box is your friend for concerns and questions or suggestions. And as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one.